My friend, he said, in speaking with potential allies or potential white people or whatever,
Good,
I
got
don't
it.
need you to do anything extra. I just don't want you to get in the way. And I was like, way to be.
Are we doing stuff right now?
I just started
that's fine.
recording.
That's fine. No, we've been,
So we're going to talk about how to be an ally, pretty much.
yeah, that's what we've been talking about.
Well, I'm saying it so that
gonna
it's in
do
the
it like
beginning of the.
But we're in the middle
thing.
now.
Wow.
Where did we start rolling?
Like when you were talking.
Oh, fuck.
No, we already got you.
Shit.
But no,
that's why I'm shutting up
I
now.
have to agree with a lot of what he's saying, and it's been interesting working at Langston. We had this youth panel up, and there was a panel of young people of color on stage, and this one young activist Muslim woman was just like, I'm tired of allies. Fuck allies.
Yes.
Anybody can say I'm an ally, but what have you done for me lately?
Exactly.
The term ally is so washed out and useless at this point that, and it's, to be an ally, you do not have to be anti-racist. You just have to like not be in the way.
You don't need to
but I
get
don't think you
tattooed.
get. I don't think you get to be an ally. And her entire point was, I don't want you to be an ally to me. I want you to go fix your community.
Yes.
Like, stop coming to me and asking me what you can do.
Yep.
Go fix your people.
Yes.
Like, stop. I'm tired of doing your homework.
Yes.
I'm tired of having to care about your people. Go, and I'm tired of having to tell you what I need.
Yes.
You got your
Go
own
deal
shit.
with your people. Go fix your life. Go back to rural freaking Washington and fix your people. And then we can come to the table and talk about where we're going to go. But right now, you sitting there buying houses in the Central District, moving black people out of their ancestral homes,
don't even get
and then
started.
saying, and then showing up at the Black Lives Matter rally with no black people involved, like. What allies? And I when I heard her saying this, I suddenly agreed with her. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with people being like, I'm an ally. Like, I can't.
Just quit subscribing to the system. Don't come to me as a customer and be like, oh, I just moved here from wherever bumfuck small town, and I got a really nice apartment on Capitol Hill, and just right there, I'm just like, zip it. Oh, in the CD or just anywhere south of the city. It's like, no, you're subscribing to the system of gentrification, and maybe you didn't realize it at the time that you got your fine ass apartment and your fine ass condo or whatever the fuck else you're doing. I'm happy for you and your privilege. But like I said, do not get in my way.
It's going on in Tacoma
Oh
as well.
yeah, I've
It's
seen
actually
that.
Really.
It's happening in quite a few places
really
all over the
bad.
country.
Well, and, and
crazy.
a lot of it was that laws weren't put in place in time, and Seattle's lost. There's no subscribing to the system. Seattle is lost. It is officially lost. And that's just going to be the way it is for a generation.
Did you like that election? That election was great.
Yeah,
It was an
so
amazing,
super great.
amazing,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Fine.
You want to be an ally. Elect people who will help your own community, and also be able to like recognize that there are other communities as their constituents.
Did we do that?
No,
I mean,
we got hashtag Black Lives Matter over there.
but yeah, no, and
We got what we wanted.
yeah, Seattle's lost for a generation. Like we are going to, people are going to move in, then they're going to be like, I want some land, and then they're going to leave, and we're going to go get nice apartments in 20 years. But we lost it. Like for too long, Seattle pretended that it was not going to be a big city. In the 70s, it was offered a free subway after the New York subway was built, because they had free federal money sitting around. They were like, who wants a subway? Seattle, what's up? And we voted it down.
Say no.
SDOT has for 30 years been trying to improve roadways in Seattle because they knew this was going to happen, and every time it was voted down. Seattle tried to pretend like it would be a small little shipping town forever.
Yeah.
It is not, and we lost it. All we can do now is hold on to our butts and stay if we can. Leave if you feel like it. But we don't, I don't believe in Seattle before 5 years ago. That's a lost city like Atlantis. Every time somebody's like, oh, back in the day we used to, I'm like, that's not real. That city doesn't exist. It doesn't.
Yeah.
We lost it.
Agreed.
And it's everything from the kind of the inheritance of redlining and how few people of color were in so many districts of Seattle for so long, to all of these other things. But Like, we don't get to be mad because Amazon was like, what y'all doing with this land that has been barren for 20 years? Oh, nothing? We'll put a tower on it.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing? We'll put our giant balls on it.
Yeah, oh, that one over there, we're gonna put some balls on it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, you're right. Like, we didn't, the city, and it's generational time. When I say the city, 3 generations of the city decided this fate. And we get to inherit that like so many other things that millennials get blamed for that all we do is inherit.
But that goes back
like
to
a
like, you
bomb
know,
in the-
how you want to be an ally, like educate yourself, find out the systemic reasons why everything is happening the way it is. Like, we can't put I mean, yes, for all of our problems, like there is a certain element of personal responsibility, but the more conversations we have, the more socially woke we get. Like, we need to understand each other. We need to understand that, you know, some people are going to come from poor communities. Some people have been disenfranchised for so many freaking years, for freaking generations and hundreds of years. And there's nothing that we can do to stop that necessarily, except just try to like have those conversations and be like, and be able to educate yourselves.
Yeah, or
like,
do
if you're
something.
if you're gonna go to college, like read the damn books outside of your class. Like, you know, you've got somebody of color in your class, go read a book about whatever, maybe about their culture, whatever. If you want to talk to one person, maybe they don't want to educate you, maybe they don't have the time or the fucking energy, I get it. But like, do your own thinking. Like, at least do your own fucking thinking and call each other out too. You don't have to sit there and be like, you did this, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing this. But you should say something like, yeah, you know what, dude? Maybe what you just said was racist. Like, you know, hey, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be catcalling people.
Also, don't stay quiet.
Absolutely.
There's so many things
Don't
in
be
this
passive.
city
Don't be fucking
that are
passive.
happening, and people watch it and they
Yes.
don't do anything.
Like,
Yes.
something up about that just recently at the airport, going through security. Certain person, not me, but I'm just saying, watching. Okay. You see the groups going through security, and there's 4 little lines going, and there's one line going, one line going, one line going, and these lines are just building and building and building and building and building and building, and then there's this really short line because there's 2 black families and an Indian family. Nobody was going behind them.
Well, it was gonna take longer to get through the damn line.
But that's a perfect point. That's a perfect point, though. And I was just like, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, this is so fucked up.
Yeah.
But I'm like, and here's the point, I'm like, when I can recognize it, and there's nothing I can do about it.
No, you
I
can
mean-
say, hey, why isn't anybody going behind this line? There's
I would be off and off and be
nobody
like-
here.
But it's
why
like,
isn't anybody going
I'm
behind
not
these
in
guys?
line there, and it's like ways away from me, but I'm just like,
Oh,
it's
man.
watching it, but it's just like,
My
I would have just
said
like,
something.
I rolled at everybody and be like, fucking take a
But it's
like,
like-
going on the line.
Why isn't anybody getting
I'm a
to this
Middle Eastern
line?
man, and
I
I'm
don't
going to start yelling in an airport. That is not happening.
That is enemy territory. I'm not bringing up concerns. They're gonna touch my hair. I'm gonna
They
get to the
touch my hair every single
I'm gonna get to the front of the line. They're gonna do the, can you take off your hat, sir? I'll be like, and then they're just gonna do the hand through, and then go check the gloves.
You realize I just did that
Yeah,
today.
yeah, no, I guarantee you did, but that's why I'm not yelling at the airport. Like, I'm in my sweatpants. I have
was
no
in my
carry-on.
onesie.
I have no carry-on. I'm beyond that. I have my backpack with just my laptop in it, so I pop that out. Like, we're good. Like, but I have no other carry-on, no other baggage. Like, I am the least abrasive thing. But that's on the point of allies. Like, that's that moment of just like, this is why you lost your ally card, everybody. Like, it's not on me to
Right.
fix this.
Yeah.
Right,
It is
exactly.
never on the oppressed. It is never on the victims to fix the problem. It's not a what were you wearing. It's a what the fuck is wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why it's not on me. I'm tired of doing your homework.
Exactly.
It wasn't upon the slaves to free themselves.
Yeah. Even though Harriet Tubman did work.
What?
Harriet Tubman did work.
She worked for the government.
Yeah.
Thank
Spy
you.
style. Burning down houses.
No, but honestly, my whole thing with it is that, like, if you see something happening and you're just standing there not doing anything about it, I'm sorry, but I'm not okay with that. You know, like,
Especially if
in
you're
my
educated
neighborhood.
in the issue.
Yeah, like if you see someone doing something wrong, say something.
You see
Or-
something, say something.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
I always said, see something, say something. But when you
She
also
just said
see
that.
that's what I said, it's a great thing. But when you see an opportunity to make that change, do it.
Yeah.
Just like we talked about it
I'm
earlier.
the
See the opportunity,
in the mirror.
take it. If you yourself are not racist and you want to celebrate the union of all of our cultures and all those races, and you see somebody's in trouble, or you see where somebody might feel that they are being discriminated against, and you step in and you offer help, or you even just offer assistance or friendship or kindness, it completely changes the situation.
Absolutely.
So, and all of a sudden, and that's how we change it.
That's how we grow.
And that's how we become growing. That's
how we grow.
Yeah.
And at that point, that is how you become an ally. Because if I see you coming over and you offer me assistance or help in a situation where I don't have that, you are my friend. You are my ally.
If you just stay and watch while some shit's going down, like I'm always making eye contact with, like getting pulled over, just like, where's a white person? Make eye contact. All right, were you gonna stay here? Just stay. I don't need to do anything. Don't even whip out your phone. Just watch, just in case, like, so I can give you my last words from my son. Just like, just stay and watch.
Yeah, seriously.
Just stay and watch. Like, I'm not telling them my last words. Like, that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna need to crawl my happy ass over to you.
It's honestly just, it feels so much better, and it takes so much less effort to go forward in life just viewing people as people. That's it. I'm not saying you shouldn't see color. I'm saying, like, oh my God, there's a human who needs
should
help.
see color.
You're going to see
should
color.
recognize
Yes,
it.
You are
but
going to
you
see
should be,
color.
but you should,
You should say,
You are
I
going to
agree.
see color no matter what.
I agree. But you should be able to say, oh, there's a human who needs help. That's it.
No.
You should be able to say there's a human who's being wronged in some way. Maybe I can do something about it. You know?
I had a good friend tell me about what they're doing teaching, actual teacher, substitute. And they asked her, so are you colorblind? And her answer was, no, I'm not colorblind. I see a color, and I see that I have white privilege. And they said, that's a really good answer. And she teaches in Tacoma. And that's why she got her job. Was because she's like, no, I do see color. And I understand because of that.
For a second, I thought he was actually talking about like color blindness. I was like,
Me too.
my roommate's dichromatic. Like I get it. Like he can't do purple and blue. Like when we play D&D, when we play D&D, I have blue dice, he has purple dice. I switch them around on him. Just to be an asshole. Just to be an asshole like
You just
that.
punch him in the arm and you're like,
Yeah, Ian. You know Ian. Like Ian can't
like
yeah.
a blue.
Yeah. The bruise looks the same.
I love Ian.
Okay, back on the show This Is Us. I have seen moments where it's like, I know.
Do you not
They're
like
not
the show?
spoilers.
No.
It's not
I
spoilers.
love the idea of the show. I haven't started it yet because
okay.
I need
okay.
that whole moment.
Okay. I'm not going to say like
spoilers, no
massive
spoilers.
spoilers. Okay. But you do see moments, and especially, it was kind of, we didn't have the language back then.
see
Maybe What?
That'll spoil it.
Oh my
Get
God,
out of
no.
here. Let her
Oh my God, oh my God.
She's actually talking for twice.
With the brothers.
With
the brothers?
Maybe. No, I'm thinking was specifically the parents, the white parents. Not only does the mom have a moment with her mother that says,
yes.
look at how you're stereotyping my son, and I
Yeah.
will not have it.
Yeah.
They also have a
basketball.
moment
Ooh,
where
Jesus.
they're going to adopt Randall, and they don't say the words white privilege, but you can see the parents, like the gears are turning, kind of like, how dare you as a judge, like deny us the opportunity to love this child, and like deny us the opportunity to hopefully use our privilege to raise this child up, And there's even a black woman in the show who says, are you going to tell me right now that you're going to deny your kid some sort of opportunity that other black folks don't get?
Yeah.
So those were like really, really great moments.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love how they show between the siblings. They show the different dynamics and the acknowledgement of color between all of them and how they all deal with it and everything, especially growing up as this, this kid in a different situation, a different environment and everything. So
Oh my
I
God, can we talk
appreciate
about
how they do that.
transracial?
I don't want to talk
No,
about
we're not
that. I don't want to
talking
talk about that.
But I would say, if I woke up, if every morning I woke up and I was given like an ally pin that I could go out and put on somebody, I would say that one would have gone out for the judge who asked to review the Charlena Lyles report. Like, and they tried sneaking that in on like the Thanksgiving Thursday news. They were just like, and tried to get it through real quick. And I was like, hold on 1 second, let me check that in the newspaper. And yeah, he's asking, he grabbed the union contract that they just like held the city hostage to like get through. And he's like, I'm gonna go review this real quick and make sure the DOJ don't need to come back. And I was just like, you get an ally pin. You just put that on your lapel, carry on your day. It allows you to slap a black kid once. Like I mean,
But we still need to make pins.
That's actually a thing in This Is Us too, with the judge and what he says to the dad. And
I was so mad at him. I could see
why
where
were you mad at him?
I was like, I could see his point of view, but I was still kind of mad at him.
No, I would no.
At him?
No, at the judge?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Poof.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Because
We just had a conversation over here where no subject was presented, no preposition was presented, no verb was presented.
There was no instance.
It was
that was a woman of color, an entire woman of color conversation. Loud! Oh no! No!
I understood
I only got 2/3. I pulled 3/5, but that's the best I can do.
That's so sweet. We're almost a person.
But yeah,
Oh my god.
but I feel like the bar for allyship needs to be higher.
Yeah.
Like the bar for allyship and gun ownership both need to be brought up to at least the level of driving a car. Like, there should be a test.
Oh my god.
They
I know
have
you don't
like,
want to, but we got to.
Oh shit.
We have to. We got to talk about it because it's in the news
Oh
and
my
it's
God.
everywhere,
I just want to
and it
let
makes me
just
so
make
mad.
Let me just make a comment on being an ally, and then I guess we can talk about that mess.
Yeah, we can talk about that mess.
Okay, for me, being an ally, just don't talk about it, just be about it.
Yeah.
Just, I don't want to hear, I'm an ally. Okay,
Now just
prove
preach it,
it.
girl.
Yeah.
Preach it.
Just prove it. Like, I don't
I'll see by your actions.
Yeah, like if you are living your life day by day, really standing up for what's right, and you see someone who is hurting and you're stepping up, I can see that you're an ally.
Yeah.
Like I don't
don't need to tell me.
appreciate conversations like this. But I don't appreciate it. Well, I'm an ally.
Yeah.
You know, I got this pen.
Yeah.
I got this tattoo. Yeah. Look at the tattoo.
Yeah.
No, like that. I think that's just so extra. Like I just want to see you actually doing the work. And then what I really
Actions
want
speak
to
louder
see.
than words.
I want to see, because sometimes I just feel like these grown folks, I feel like they're a lost cause. Let's really focus on the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's educate these kids because they're the next generation coming up. So if we show that we are the example and we're speaking in schools, we're, volunteering,
And not
mentorship,
whitewashing history.
not whitewashing history, just being for real with it, then it even show that it's possible to find, because sometimes, I'm sorry, but sometimes public school systems kind of whack. Give them resources for them to search their own history as well.
Yeah.
Because, every now and again, because I know when I was in school, I reached a certain grade and they weren't teaching Black history anymore. So that's how I feel. I really feel like we need to offer those resources. And if there's a kid that really wants to learn about something or somebody, and they know they're not getting it into school, let's provide that for them.
And it's like, another thing is you put that, doing it, and if you don't know, ask. I had that happen the other day. Somebody came up to me and just a friend talking and just say, he goes, hey, the other day, was that offensive to you? And I was like, it kind of was. And he's like, I'm sorry about that. I won't ever do that again. He goes, he goes, I should have asked beforehand. And I was like,
And sometimes
thank you for asking now. And it's like, and it was like,
don't do it.
and it's like, even I've done that. I'm like, I've done that myself. But I was like going, that to me is where I go, okay, that made you an ally because you asked me, hey, does that offend you? Yes, it does. I'm going to put a stop to that.
Right.
I'm going
I'll
to
give
stop.
them that 5 minute of allyship, but that's like
That's not a
you've got to
full-
constantly punch that card. Like
Yeah.
like I'm gonna
Well,
give
I'm just
that.
saying,
Yeah.
It's not 10 times and
Yeah.
then what is
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what I think. It's the doing, though.
Yeah,
It's that.
yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
process of going. Okay, you just presented yourself as an ally at that moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. If we continue and we not only what's the word I'm looking for? Not only perpetuate it, but encourage it.
Yes.
Encourage that type of behavior. I personally, I think that would actually be what helps a lot. But
And we cannot be afraid to acknowledge that history is problematic as fuck. Like, especially in the white textbooks, and by that I mean
And-
whitewashed history books
And
that kids get in school.
here, I also gotta say, sometimes it's also okay to say, yeah, I was a little racist.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
look at my culture. Yeah, we were. Okay, we were a lot racist. Okay.
And there's
And that's-
racism that still exists now
Yeah.
too. Like I know with a lot of African parents, they have prejudices against black families, black kids, stuff like that.
Black American.
Black Americans, yes. And it's not right. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Like I've had plenty of times where there was a person that was older than me that told me that I wasn't allowed to hang out with certain people because we didn't grow up in the same neighborhood or anything. And I was just like, well, why would you automatically think that? Like that's your prejudice, not mine. You know, and it comes down to the parents too, also teaching the kids that, be who you want to be, play with who you want to play with.
That's so weird that you said that because I had a family member who was adamant about me not bringing home an African man.
Yeah. And it was the
That's
opposite
crazy.
for me.
And that's the opposite for
It was
you.
the opposite for
That's
me. I wasn't allowed
crazy.
to bring a black man home. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's this whole thing of, well, they don't respect their parents and everything. They're not raised cultured or anything. And I'm like, how do you know that? You're just
That's
you're
crazy.
perpetuating
You
a
have to-
stereotype right now.
That's crazy. That
You look at the
it's the
primary
same. It was the
export
same
stuff.
narrative
Yeah.
that was
Same
said
exact-
to me. Whoa!
Yeah.
It's all a lie. It's all a lie.
Because I heard like African men are possessive, you know, and they always believe that they're the breadwinners
they're the
and
superior,
everything. Yes,
and they-
yes,
yeah.
yeah. And then the opposite side is a black man. It doesn't respect.
Lazy, no
Lazy.
respect.
Look at the
Yeah,
export
drug
stuff.
addict, all that stuff.
But then that goes.
So when I went and met my son's family in Portugal, because my kid's Portuguese, like they were really concerned that they were bringing a African American over because the only interactions they have with African Americans are the 80s, 90s, aughts black movies that were sent over there. Oh no! And the same.
you tell me you did
like,
not disappoint them.
No, I didn't know what to do. Like they were really confused that I was so normal. At some point in time, they even asked me, like, "Are you sure you're African American?"
Wow.
And I was like, "Yeah," but because the minstrel
But they
show
didn't
is
say
still
come to America.
real.
Yeah.
The minstrel show is still real, and it's taking it back 10 years before. 15 years before that, my great-grandmother, raised by my all-white family, the great-grandmother that I knew, had never spoken to a black person because there was none in my town before my brother and I showed up. She was 84, 85 when she sat me down to ask me what being black was like because she didn't even understand that because I was raised by all-white people in an all-white town, that culturally I was identical to them. There was still some secret black agenda that I knew about. So these communities that don't interact, all they see is the truth portrayed in media.
Yeah.
So all I've seen of African movies are of like, put down my sesame cake, Mr. Hoka, from Congo.
What?
From Congo, where he's fucking eating a sesame cake. Yeah. Like that's all I see there, and I'm just like, oh shit, like have some sesame cake, don't have some sesame cake.
That's a real African accent. I love that.
Yeah.
Now coming to America?
No, coming to America is a farce.
I know. No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, 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 no.
And the father that the mother and the father, those are my parents.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
even kidding.
But yeah, but
Those
it
are
was
my parents.
presented it like that.
Not
that
allowed
wasn't
to
how
marry
I-
beneath you.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
that other
I
stuff.
love that movie.
Yeah,
You
that-
would-
Like
that was
I
my
was
part,
once
yeah.
again also only raised by white people. Like they didn't want me dating anybody of color.
Yeah.
They were like, go find yourself a nice white
love
girl,
that
maybe a Puerto Rican, but definitely.
You want to be the princess,
No.
and you know.
But that's but
Fuck like a dog.
like a big dog. Hop on one leg.
but that's where that comes from. It is how, and it's because like my great grandmother, she had only ever heard about black people from blackface minstrel shows that were on the vaudeville circuit.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only context that black people existed in was in tabloids and in minstrel shows. The only context a lot of Africans, or even African Americans existed for me, for the longest time was in movies. That was it. And I knew it couldn't be true because I was riding horses and on a roping team and like building things out in the woods. And I was just like, well, apparently I'm not supposed to be doing this. Like welding shit together. Like
Playing crap.
yeah, like I don't like I remember having to ask like how do you play dice? What is a dice? But in my school I was asked all sorts of questions like do I bleed the same color? Like all of these that was in 10th grade in my biology class. They hadn't figured it out yet. Like all of these things, we exist in an era in the post-media era in mainstream information. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people's only interaction with the civil rights movement was a near rebellion in the South that scared white people everywhere. And then black people were supposedly just coming to like rape your women and steal your children. Like that was it. Like
No, that
all
was the
things.
Saracens.
Yeah.
We were doing that.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing.
So crazy because like I never experienced anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, growing up and everything. But then now that can you just stop?
I was the bad guy.
So something I saw today with Harry marrying Meghan, right?
Already.
You just let me first before you do anything. Oh shit!
I didn't even know until Bumble told me.
I'm not even gonna finish because of you. So, so growing up, I didn't experience this animosity because of one's color. You know, like everyone was into the same thing, and that was it. It wasn't an issue of not seeing color. It was an issue of, oh, you like the same stuff? These guys don't. Let's beat their asses 2-on-1, you know, kind of thing. It's not only me just fighting them. It's a whole bunch of us. And then I see, you know, they had the wedding announcement. Mind you, the whole wedding announcement was a huge farce because they covered up a whole bunch of other news that happened that day too, but we won't get into that. But the announcement was done, and all you see is, oh, I wonder if the queen is going to die now because he's marrying an N-word. And yeah, it was so bad. And I'm literally like, I feel the tears welling up because I'm like, oh my God, these are the people that, you know, the people that I grew up with, and they're talking like this about, and it's not like I mean, it was one of the things that was like, and one girl said that one girl that had shared the picture or the screenshot was like, and people want to say that racism doesn't still exist and racism isn't everywhere. And I was like, it is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
Oh, yeah.
For those people or those cosplayers that say, oh, racism isn't my country, I can blackface, it's totally fine. We don't that doesn't happen here. I'm like, no, you're a damn liar, seriously, because obviously this is going on in the UK right now, and there's so many people that are coming out of the woodwork and voicing their opinion. Their opinion of hate and misery and everything. And it was just like, why can't you just be happy that he's found someone that he loves, whether or not, you know, she is she was a divorcee or something, and there was some other stuff that happened with her, and they were like, oh, he went for old baggage instead of like Louis Vuitton. you know, and showed a picture of a white blonde chick, and I don't know who that was, but yeah, I was just like,
Yeah.
the fact that this guy found someone that he can spend the rest of his life with, why aren't you guys happy about that? Period. Why does it have to be about the color of her race or what she did in her background or anything? No one said anything about Kate. Well, yeah, no one said anything about Kate, and, you know, I have issues with her just because, you know, she was a lingerie model, and you don't show your goods to everyone. I'm sorry, you just don't. And
Wait a minute. Wait.
queen.
When is being a lingerie model being showing your goods? Wait a minute. Whoa,
It's about decency,
No,
damn
it's about
it.
Oh my God! We're not gonna. You're not gonna go there.
But the whole thing is that like they're
boys.
talking about this woman.
Abby's over there stacking people like Jenga blocks. It's like, and I'm gonna put black people here, and lingerie model. Yeah.
It's like
Lingerie
down
model
here.
blows her mind. She can't even
all
get
the way down
They have to cut the page,
it's right
rip the
here.
page out. She just rips the page out of the book and sets it
But no,
aside.
like it was just one of those things. I was just like, what does it matter what color she is? And everyone was being offensive. Everyone was saying, like a good 90% of them were saying the N-word over and over again, and it was just like, but why do you have to class her like that? You don't even know who she is. All you know is, you know, that she was she was an actress. Yeah, and yeah. So I was just, I just, it broke my heart that was yesterday.
I guess the answer to that is, that's the point. They don't have to know. Like that's the point.
Yeah, but you're just judging someone based off of.
That's the point of what they're doing. Like that, you're asking what's the point, and that's it.
Yep.
It's that simple.
He goes, when you
That doesn't
slander
make sense
somebody,
to me.
you don't want them to be human. You don't
Yeah.
want to know them.
I get
you just
that,
want to slander
but
them.
why?
Yeah.
Because you can.
Or because there's an ulterior motive we don't know about.
Or yeah, it's just because you can. Because well, she's different.
Because they always have.
I understand that.
Because they always have. This isn't new.
Oh,
They always have.
I just thought of something. A little message for the Nazis, who people like to call the alt-right. Fuck that term. Fuck that term.
I call them the shift alt delete.
Control Alt Delete. Yes, yes. Which came up in the Women's March, which is awesome. There is no such thing as reverse racism. There is no such thing as reverse racism. Next time I hear a white person saying that, I'm shutting them down. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's all
I didn't
racism.
realize we weren't supposed to do it till the next time. Did I jump the gun? Am I out of the race? Do I have to add 5 seconds to my time?
Taking my time.
So-
Taking my time.
Making my way downtown.
So okay. What? Transracial.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Is not an ally.
No, they're not. They're not.
Transracial.
It's not a thing. Okay.
I know. I know.
Well, no, it
I
is. No, transracial is. It means that you were of a different race than
I
when
know
you were
what it
raised
means.
by a parent.
I know what it means.
So they are a thing, and I'm like, and it sickens me to watch somebody else kind of steal that identity.
It's more
away from
appropriation.
Appropriation.
Appropriation. That's
Absolutely
all it is.
appropriation.
Yeah.
It's appropriation.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying to be transracial was to be yeah. Okay. I know. She was like,
You were about like hand to God.
I was like, plug your ears, honey. I know. Because I know you want to say it.
Hand to God.
I know you want to say it.
Line them up. Quit slapping people in the eye.
No, because I'm just, my thing is, it's yeah.
Just because you like another culture better than yours doesn't mean you get to call yourself that culture.
Period. Done.
The end.
And sorry.
Transracial.
Done.
I didn't even know there was a. I didn't even know there was a way.
That article.
I didn't even know there was a term for me that meant I could take 5 words out of my string of labels. I could take Puerto Rican adopted by white folks and actually shorten that to transracial. I didn't even know this was a term until this whole thing came up. And now there's some like white person in fucking Florida whose white counselor is like green, and I'm sorry to classify them as that way, but they are, because the dude is saying, "Oh, I'm Filipino." No, you're not.
Oh my God, yes.
No, you're not.
I like lumpia, just like I
I
lumpia, so
identify
I'm
as
obviously Filipino.
Do you have Filipino blood? Then shut up.
I think you would be. I think I would be more offended over the lady who was white and she was
Go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
Talk about Rachel?
Yeah, talk about Rachel. I told you.
That's the only black girl my mama said I could take home. No.
And then she found out she white. No,
This is
NAACP. It actually, I'll be honest, when I first heard of that one, that's the first time I heard, I actually got I got upset.
But the fact that nobody knew.
Why I got upset is
Like,
because
nobody knew.
I'm over here going, I want to look more like my culture. I'm like, how do I do that? And I'm like, and then I'm seeing somebody else who's a different culture trying to behave as a different, and I'm like,
Yep.
and now I'm like going, fuck, I don't dare try to anymore because then people are just gonna think I'm a horrible person. And I'm like, but that's where I'm like, I have to talk about this.
I get like 5 minutes of therapy for that and fix that.
I
real
know.
quick. Yeah, that's not a real thing. You're literally bearing the cross for white
I know.
people. Like, yeah, take that some bitch off.
I know, I'm like,
so
done.
I work in a theater that's like run by black women, and the entire next day after the whole Rachel story broke, it was the best day ever for us because we're running from office to office. Like, you better show parents. I mean, talk to your family. And then we called my mom, and my mom's just like, no, he's black. I'm just not. And there's like, we're not sure if we can trust him. like it was a big game for us. Like it was a really good day. And honestly, like I gotta give Rachel like 10 points. She made it a really long ways before anybody looked back. She ran the race. Like the Filipino guy, I'm like, you're caught way too early. Like you gotta buy land. You have to get over there for a while. You gotta know the language well, something. You gotta dig in deep, and then all of a sudden it has to get found out. Like. She made it all the way to the president of NAACP, which you can do as a white person.
Well, you can. Well, it's founded on white people.
Yeah. Like, it's fine, but like, she made it up there, like, on the whole, like, blackness power, like, thing. Like, she made it a long ways. Which I don't know any situation that I've ever been in with any people of color where their parents didn't show up at one point. Like, where mom and dad weren't there.
Right.
You know, the day she got elected, there was those two little white faces in the back. Just... like, we're so proud of her, eyes on, and nobody's ever like, hey, who's George? Like, who the fuck is Mike back there? Mike and I'm guessing Irma? Who the fuck is they? Like you make it all that way. I'm gonna give her like 1 black point.
I'm trying to hide.
Like 1. Like I'll allow her to wear a perm and not make fun of her.
As long as it's not
Like that's it. That's all I'm gonna give her. But if she gives me the fist, she's done. Like no, you can give Obama thumbs for everybody. But if she rocks the black power fist, done with her. Like we're fighting in the alley.
I don't do that.
Like we're fighting in the alley. She lost that privilege.
If I raise my fist like this, no, just duck.
Damn. But I'm trying to figure out, like, how did nobody know? Like, how did nobody,
Because the internet is still new.
No, here's the thing. It's not. It's because we didn't.
I'm so confused.
No, it's not that we didn't know or didn't.
like, she's
I
tanned.
Here's what I think is. I think it's because we didn't want to know, because we didn't think that somebody
had
would
no
actually
idea.
do that. That's the thing. I mean, I'll just be honest.
There is a German woman that is coloring her skin.
Mm-hmm.
She's putting pigment injections in herself. And then I think she weaved
She got weed.
she
Yeah, she
weaved
did.
natural hair
Yeah, she did.
into her hair. Jesus.
There's a special kind of hatred when you do something like that to yourself.
All I'm saying, like they're
Like she said she wanted to be a black person, and she literally
But
she's
no.
not even brown skin though. She's like a
mud.
yeah.
It's really sad.
that you
so
can't.
messy.
There's no way to do it right. Like the book Black Like Me was written by the only person who went all the way black, and then he died of the cancer from the treatments. Like he was a white guy that went black to find out what it was like to be black, and then wrote a book about it. Like this is some shit. White people, wake the fuck up, and then died of the cancer from all the treatments.
Why
like
didn't he just watch Soul Man?
it wasn't around yet. I don't think TV happened yet. Hold me back. But I mean, honestly, as like a transhumanist, they're like 50 years too early, because once somebody's like 35 and like I identify as a tiger, and then like can go and have like a tail and like
that's
tiger
happened.
skin and all. Yeah,
'Cause
like
that's
we're getting
happened.
there. Like as soon as we can CRISPR in some tiger DNA to people, the fact that you're human will
That's
matter
upset
less.
about Batman.
We're just too early. Like,
tiger, tiger.
it is too early to pull this. Like we are not at that moment. Like when anybody could straight up like be whatever they want, maybe at some time you can take a test and like the Council of Black Hood will be like, it is all right. You may come in.
I feel like that happened in Transmetropolitan.
yeah, like in a transmetropolitan world, like go for it. Like
Yeah,
anybody
you can do anything.
When anybody can be anything,
You can
then
have,
we're
like,
fine. But
implants
right now, I mean,
cyborg
honestly, I
tiger.
feel like you're like fine. You want to be another culture? It's time for you want to identify as another culture? It's time for your 3-month privilege check.
Yeah.
We're gonna take everything away from you, and you have to survive.
3 months.
Which
move
would
out
be
of
the
Florida.
best season of Survivor ever. The best season of Survivor is like 19 identifying as black white dudes.